Ed Reardon's Week by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. Episode 3, Anger Management.
You have done well, Mr. Scott. With Control's rarely bestowed compliment ringing in his ears, Brett Scott flung the Testarossa off the final hairpin and onto the Grand Corniche. Casino, 10 kilometres, read the sign. Brett would be there in 30 seconds. Yeah, no, wait a minute. Does that mean he's going too slowly? Multiply by 8 and divide by 5. 756 miles an hour. Maybe that is a bit fast even for the Testarossa. Is it? What if it's a built-up area? I still got Sebastian Folkes' phone number. He'll know, surely.
Monday. Brett Scott wasn't the only one about to enjoy some serious downtime. His creator was too, though without the lethally beautiful Carla at his shoulder. Berkhamsted Civic Centre may not have the glamorous trappings of the casino, but it does offer a buffet and soft drinks to all those council taxpayers attending the newly instigated meeting rejoicing in the name of the Stakeholders Forum.
Very nice. So, if it's all right with everybody, I'll start. I'm Sue Fishpool, Head of Stakeholder Communications Engagement. Bit of a mouthful, I know.
Yes.
And what this forum is absolutely about is an opportunity for you, the stakeholders, to offer feedback and input your concerns. Also to generally interact with issues that might be relevant to you.
Excuse me, how does that differ from inputting our concerns?
Yes, good point.
Don't listen to him, love. He's just trying to cause trouble.
And you're doing very well, Sue.
Anyway, we all know why he's here. That table of sandwiches at the back.
That's where you're wrong, Stan. I'm discharging my civic responsibilities.
Oh, some of you know each other already. That's a positive. So, does anybody have any comments on, for example, our mission statement?
Ah, yes, your promise to put a smile on the face of the community.
I think that's lovely.
Yes, except the smile's promptly wiped off again by the 13% rise in council tax.
Yes, that's what we'd like to know, where our money's going.
Well, yes, that's very valid.
There you are, Pearl, you're valid.
Because one thing we want to communicate very clearly to stakeholders is we're listening.
Albeit at a premium rate, no doubt.
And if you turn to page 126 of the brochure, you'll find a cake chart of where exactly your money is going, which we happen to think is something we should be open about.
How much did the brochure cost? You can be open about that for a start.
Yes, so let's activate some feedback about the brochure.
Well, where to begin? This picture of the mayor on the cover, her chain of office flying as she breakdances with the traffic warden. The caption reads, "Your mayor lets her hair down." Your is spelt Y-O-U''RE.
Yes.
Well, that's wrong. Page 3, misspelling of Mandela. Oh, yes, agenda with a J. Exactly how much of the cake was spent on education?
Oh, him and his spelling. We're not in your writing class now.
Quite right, Oliver. Shut up. No use in complaining now the barbarians are well and truly through the gates.
No, I'm sorry. We can't tolerate racism in this forum.
I wasn't being racist, merely pointing out that this brochure, as well as being translated into Gujarati, Swahili and Albanian, seems to be written in the purest drivel. And just look at all this twaddle about celebrating cultural diversity. If what you mean is having an underpaid steel band playing in an overpriced French market, why not say so?
Now you're demeaning the forum.
Really? I doubt you know the meaning of the word.
I'm afraid we've got a boundary issue here.
Oh, cricket. I thought that was elitist. Right, let's have a look at these sandwiches. Oh, I think I'm going to interact with these.
No refreshments, I'm afraid, until we've settled on the order of business.
Sourced by Waitrose. That accounts for at least some of the council tax, right?
Goes back, advocate this facility.
Very well, just take a few prisoners. And an extra 13%.
Now!
Oh, dear.
Somebody got out of the wrong side of bed.
It's a single one, I'll be bound.
Oh, silence, the lot of you! This instant!
Oh, all right, here you are, Elgar. Half a Scotch egg for you, half for me. We're both stakeholders, aren't we? And see why you shouldn't stand for the council. Probably spell a lot better. Right, where were we? Brett Scott flung the keys of the Testarossa onto the blackjack table, looked the dealer squarely in her cold, dead, mean-spirited provincial eyes, and said, twist. Is it? Or is it raise?
Better leave another message on Sebastian's answering machine. Ever since the sensitive, curly-haired chronicler of World Wars I and II turned his attention to breathing new life into the James Bond canon, it's become acceptable for writers of literary fiction to lend our talents to the celebrity novel. Not that we have much choice in the matter, since publishers decided to eschew literature in favour of addle-brained miscellanies, booky wooks, and other detritus climbing up the windows of Waterstones. Nevertheless, a job is a job, and £15 per 1,000 words is, as I'm sure brother folks would agree, a reasonable return for bump-starting the so-called writing career of one of our leading Formula One drivers, whose name I did write down somewhere. But no matter, as I doubt I'll ever meet him. I think that's folksy now. Must have been watching the cricket, Olga. Probably means he's got Satanta, lucky bugger. Hello?
You have done well, Mr. Reardon.
Ping. Did you get my chapter 28?
Ed, it's brilliant. I can smell the burning rubber.
Well, I did write it rather quickly, 2.6 seconds faster than chapter 27.
Just one tiny thing.
How tiny?
Small as that.
You forget, Ping, I can't see you.
Okay, my finger and thumb are really close together. Teeny, tiny. Thing is, we're probably going to have to change the author.
But I thought this boy was the sensation of the starting grid.
He hasn't managed to get off it yet in 3 goes, and Felix is getting a little bit twitchy. So, he was at Ascot over the weekend, and he saw this brilliant new jockey who's just won the Derby, and he's going to be the next captain on A Question of Sport, and probably on the new season of Strictly.
Sounds a genuine Corinthian. So, Felix thinks he's got a book in him as well, does he?
So, if you could just change all the fast car driving-y references and make it more horse racing-y stuff.
What?
You know, just do a word search and change car to horse. It's lemon squeezy. We did it on the Ultimatum Covenant, when that TV chef poisoned his customers. What we did, we dropped him, put the GMTV weather girl on the cover and tweaked the text. So, tiramisu, tsunami.
Inspired.
Yeah, he's such a great writer, Julian Barnes. Horsepower.
What about it?
It works for both cars and horses, right? See? Job's half done already.
No, I'm sorry, Ping. Not even torturing me like Brett Scott in chapters 9 to 13 would make me do that.
Then I'm afraid, Mr. Reardon, you will not see your £150 for the first 10,000 words.
What are you doing?
I'm purring while I stroke my Persian cat. End of the week, okay, sweetie? Bye-bye.
What now, for God's sake? Yes?
Mr. Reardon?
Yes?
I'm Community Officer Steve Williams.
So you are. But what it doesn't say on the laminated badge is whether you're a proper policeman or just one of those who walk round in pairs wearing a stab jacket and drinking a can of Fanta.
You're thinking of special constables. So I am in fact a member of the outreach team attached to the Hertfordshire Constabulary.
Why are you ticking that box? Am I some kind of statistic later to appear on the council's ridiculous cake chart? Why are you ticking that other box?
I was just wondering, sir, have you ever thought about anger management?
Oh, spare me the nanny state jargon. Haven't the police got anything better to do than regurgitate psychobabble from the pages of Guardian Society when there are people living across the road there who treat the roof of the bus stop as their own personal rubbish dump?
So that'll be a no. I wonder if we could step inside for a minute, sir?
Why?
Save you the embarrassment of discussing this in front of your neighbours?
Oh, I've long since ceased to care what they think. All right, you better come in. Anyway, embarrassment's a human emotion which I doubt they'd recognise. In fact, feral's too good a word. You know, I heard someone on the radio describing conditions on the M6 as feral the other day.
Right, you are. Just get the old leaflets out. Now, what we're offering is a day-long course in, as I say, anger management. 3 hours in the morning, 3 in the afternoon.
Does that mean that there's...
No, lunch is not provided, I'm afraid.
I'd have thought that was more likely to cause anger rather than manage it. But what I'd like to know is why you think I'm in need of this course with the expensive-looking leaflets with Monk's scream on the front.
I have to advise you that a complaint's been made about your behaviour in the Civic Centre the other day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, red mist come down, did it? Stakeholders Forum, ring any bells?
Oh, for heaven's sake, I was merely pointing out the illiteracy of the council tax brochure.
A little bit of a wobble. We've all had 'em. Put me in the same car as my mother-in-law. It's so easy, isn't it? When you're convinced you're in the right, you lose sight of the bigger picture, yeah? The wider perspective.
But I was in the right. I counted at least 24 misspellings. I've circled them all here.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do think you'd benefit from going on our Don't Lose It course, because it wasn't just the little wobble at the Civic Centre, was it? We've got a few more little instances, shall we say?
Such as?
Well, where to begin?
The litany of alleged instances of my antisocial behaviour, provided by, among others, the malodorous kebab shop downstairs, the damnably noisy kindergarten round the corner and its surpassingly inefficient lollipop woman, all added up to a picture that was of course unfair, though not, I'm bound to admit, entirely unrecognisable. "It will take many years," read my final report at Shrewsbury, "for the school to recover from E.H. Reardon's lamentable display after losing the debate. This house believes that pop music is better than classical." But due to pressure of work, I declined Outreach Officer Steve Williams' invitation to attend his anger management course, notwithstanding the veiled threat that if I carried on in this way, prosecution would almost certainly follow. Bring it on, as they say on the Conservative front bench these days. I look forward to my appearance in court as much as Brett Scott is looking forward to meeting the challenges of his new career, riding in the Grand National while dodging the bullets of the Taliban.
You can't have that. Dick Francis has already done it. And he had a man-trap concealed in Beecher's Brook. That was a real cracker.
I thought his missus wrote them all.
I bet he wasn't doing the hoovering while she was doing the writing. Same old story.
The sexual politics of this, Olive, are neither here nor there. The skill is to write in the way that the sports personality would write if he or she were able to.
Well, don't you mind someone else getting the credit while you do all the work?
Pearl, if you think this class is about me telling you writing is glamorous, then I'm afraid you've wasted your £1.50.
Oh, £1.35. Concessions.
Quite, but the point remains the same. You knuckle down to the job, you deliver on time, you do the rewrite. If nobody likes it, you start another one. It's tough. Get over it. As in fact Brett Scott says to his horse at the chair fence.
But why does it have to be rubbish?
Because at the moment that's what the market demands.
If you hadn't got thrown out of the council meeting, you might not have to be writing tosh.
Why?
You could be writing the community play about local taxation.
Oh, is that what the combined brain power of stakeholder communications engagement came up with?
Yes, a celebration in words and music of council services down the ages.
We're all hoping to get parts in it.
I don't suppose the competition's all that fierce, especially as you'll no doubt be making your own costumes.
No, it's a proper thing. They've already commissioned that old hippie who lives on the houseboat to write the music.
He'll need to use his imagination. Never paid a penny of tax in his life.
What do you mean, commissioned?
Oh, there's a budget. 75,000 according to Sue Fishpool. All they need now is a local writer.
Bet you wish you'd button your lip, don't you?
See where losing your temper gets you? Might even have a crack at it myself.
So when's the next stakeholders forum?
Never you mind. You're bad anyway.
Not necessarily.
So there you are. Those are my little trigger points. Niggly things that get my blood pumping. Hope the wife didn't hear any of that.
My campaign to rehabilitate myself into society, and more to the point, onto the council gravy train, began the following morning at Steve Williams's anger management course. Seated on beanbags, I and my fellow malcontents, several of whom I recognised from the post office queue and the newspaper table in the library, were subjected to the ubiquitous weapon of self-importance, which is PowerPoint.
Again, SLAM, yeah? Stress Level Alarm Mechanism. Right, now let's get some input from you guys. That's what this Don't Lose It course is all about. Let's open this up, right now, here, yeah? Shout out a few things that tend to really get your goats.
Well, split infinitives like that. Being told to familiarise myself with safety instructions on the train. Dr. Pamela Stevenson. People who say beg the question when they mean ask.
Okay, right, anybody else?
I haven't finished yet. Slushy American film music appearing in the Classic FM Hall of Fame.